Life is precious, and we all have the opportunity of living it to the fullest. Unfortunately, so few of us know how to manage it all. How do we account for our opportunities? How do we account for our time? How do we account for our relationships, health, spirituality, homes, finances, influence, and careers? How do we account for the one life we have to live? I am so glad you asked. In this program, you will find answers to all of these questions and more. Welcome to the Account for Your Life podcast with your host, the healthy accountant himself, Jay Moore.
What's happening, everybody? What is up? Hold on one second. Let me just remember that. I want to welcome you back to another episode of the Account for Life podcast. Jay Moore, the healthy accountant, helping you to account for your life. Man, what an awesome and incredible day. Today, here's what we are talking about. What you say is what you believe. We are reviewing the book You Owe You by E.T. the Hip Hop Preacher, and we're in chapter 2 today, which is You Are Never in It by Yourself. So I titled it What You Say is What You Believe. And man, oh man, I think today we can really help each other to really see that, I can say something and literally what I say is what I believe. Literally what I think is what I actually do. And if we are going to really understand this concept of you or you, then that just means we just got to realize that, we don't have to do anything alone. So let's jump right into this. Don't want to hold you too long today. And so I read the chapter. I listened to the chapter a couple of times and I read the chapter, and E.T. does a masterful job. I love this book because it's a storybook. It's a storybook about how he got to the point of knowing that he owed himself. And so this book is really teaching and showing things that E.T. went through so that he could become the person. Like, he's the number one motivational speaker on the planet. And that's amazing. Like that's outstanding. So here it is, the number one motivational speaker on the planet, just like you and me. He's just like you and me. He had a lot of problems in his life. I want you to think about it. He had a lot of problems in his life. A lot of times we go through life believing, and this is where what you say is what you believing that just because we have problems that, man, that just means that, I can't get here, I can't get there. It's not for me. We love to sensationalize. Come on now. We love to sensationalize things that happen in our life. So, well, I guess then I guess that's how the universe has spoken. The universe don't know nothing, man. The universe is not God. So we got to make, I've heard that and I made a mistake at some point in my life thinking that the universe, has is God, but the universe is something that's created. I want you to think about it. The universe is something created. So the things that we say, the things we believe, and E.T., I love the fact that he has some really good points in here. And one of the things that he says is that people either inspire you to greatness or pull you down in the gutter. Wow. People inspire you or pull you down. Like, we're just going to stop right there, because think about if you're looking to go to your next level. If you're like me, like I'm more of an introvert. What are you? You're introvert, extrovert. A lot of times introverts, we could be in our heads all the time. Come on now. If you're an introvert, you know what I'm talking about. We love to think about things. We could tell some serious stories. Introverts stay in their heads. Now, here's the thing. Most of the billionaires that you know are introverts, right? Introverts think and they put things together way before. A lot of times they say, at least E.T. says this in the book, he says extroverts, a lot of times they don't necessarily, they just get out there and get started, wherein the introvert would technically be like 5 or 6 steps ahead because they've thought it through already. But let's think about if you and I are hanging around people who are not inspiring us. E.T. was hanging around people who wasn't inspiring him. He had left home. He thought he was the man. He was hanging out with the wrong crowd until he got around people at a church. Until he got around people. He also says no one fails alone and no one succeeds alone. So guys, we need people. I think one of the premises in this book is that we need people in order to get from where we are to where we'd like to be. Think about it. Like if I owe me and you owe you, then we're not going to get to that super high level in our life without people. Like, think about a big company, think about a big church, think about a big ministry, think about anything that's gotten big. No one did it alone. So we've got to make sure that if we're going to win, we get around the people that's going to help us to win. What else did E.T. talk about in the book? He said, look, this is actually a quote that I got from somebody else. I can't remember who it was. If you stay in your head, you're dead. Write that down. If you're watching this replay or live, if you stay in your head, you are dead. What does that mean? I think I heard Tony Robbins say that. What that means is a lot of times we can, like I just said, we can tell stories. We can tell stories about ourselves. We can tell stories about life. We can tell stories. I was driving home, and I was driving home because I went running. And this is interesting. I haven't run outside in, let me see, it was about a week and a half. Now I've been running on a treadmill, but I haven't been running the full 3 miles, maybe 1.5, 2 miles. I'm running out there today, and I'm just sitting there like, why? Now I know why I haven't been running, and I mentioned this yesterday. I haven't been running simply because I don't want to lose all my muscle, right? I'm not lifting weights long enough. I remember Arnold Schwarzenegger, he told a story about how he got his first acting role. It's Conan the Barbarian. He was really big, right? And the director told him, he says, look, I'm gonna give you a shot. And on this date, I'm gonna weigh you. You need to be at this weight. It was an obscene amount of weight he had to lose to get this particular role. Think about this. He's Mr. Olympia and he's huge. He didn't stop lifting weights. What he did is he had to run in order to get a lot of that muscle off. So he would start running 5 miles a day. So that running took the muscle off. So if you're somebody like me, and I'm already slim, so my point is, I don't want to do too much running if I'm not putting on enough muscle. So we got to stay out of our head. All right, life isn't about what you can get; it's about what you give. Life isn't about what you can get; it's about what you give. I thought about this, and I feel so much alive when I give. It's so weird. Yesterday was one of the most amazing days. I decided I would give some people that I look at as family. I said, you know what? I'm going to help everybody. I love helping. I said, I'm going to help everybody with something that I have that can help you. And if you would like it, I'll give it to you. You can't pay me for it. I'm not going to ask for any money. You couldn't give me any money. I wouldn't tell you how you could pay me. I'm just going to give it to you. I'm going to help you. And, and during that, somebody else reached out to me. I helped out another person yesterday. And I'm just excited because giving, I said, man, I love to give. I love to help other people out. Man, like that really lights me up. And so E.T. talks about, he says, life isn't about what you get. It's about what you give. So at the end of the day, think about this. The people in life that you revere, they gave a lot. The people in life that you'd want to go to their funerals and you'd want to say something good about them, is they gave a lot. They may have given you something in life. And it's nothing like going to a funeral. Something like going to a funeral where somebody was just a giver and everybody's just coming up there and they're talking about how much they got. How much they got from the person. So life isn't about getting, it's about giving. Lastly, he also talks about, he says, stay around people who can help you because iron sharpens iron. There's a proverb that talks about this. And so, the proverb talks about how when you're around people who can help sharpen you, then you get sharpened because you're also helping sharpen them. So that's like just staying around the right people. And E.T. talks about how you can get help and how his team works with people, have a certain flight assessment. They have their flight assessment, what they call it. And they help people to discover really what tomorrow's going to be about, superpower, but they help people to really see who they really are. Do you know who you really are? You should think about this today. Do you know who you really are? And I've been thinking about this a lot. And about a year and a half ago, I was at a conference. And when I was at the conference facilitator gave everybody a card. So he just gave everybody a card. Well, the wife gave everybody a card. And the card was for you to write yourself a note. And at some point, they'll mail it back to you. You know, I got it in them. They mailed mine back to me last week. And it came in the mail. I was like, what is this? And I opened it up and I says, wow. But it reminded me of something that I said to myself that I probably forgot. And when I read it, it reminds me of the real superpower that I have. It reminds me of something that's within me that I probably haven't been focused on as much. And I says, man, I'm so happy that I'm involved with a group that can pour into my life. Had they not done that, had they not had that exercise and allowed me to participate in the exercise, then I wouldn't have gotten this card. I would not have had that information that I thought about and spoke about to myself that day. So you want to get around people, you want to get into groups so you don't have to be by yourself. And I'm going to tell you, I'm so excited about the groups that I'm a part of. And if you're not a part of any groups, well, you like if you're at a good church, if you're at a really good church, then that's the first step. You know, I had to find things outside of church. There's some churches in my area, but there's some churches in my area. They just, wasn't necessarily resonating, 100%. So I said I had to find a group that was more that I more fit in. And, a diverse group. So I'm not in a group that's non-diverse where those other groups weren't as diverse, in a very diverse group. So we're never in it by ourselves. But here's the thing. We have to put ourselves in an environment so that we cannot be in it by ourselves. So if you take anything away today, this is what you want to take. What you say is what you believe, and get into groups, get into environments where you can be with people that can help you succeed, and that you can give your best, that you can help them succeed as well. So guys, I thank you for joining me for this episode of the Account for Life podcast. I'm Jay Moore, the Healthy Accountant, helping you to account for your life. God bless, and I'll see you on the next episode. Peace.
Thanks for joining us, listening friends. We are so glad you invested this time with us. Always remember, you only have one life to live, so live it to the fullest. This has been the Account for Your Life podcast with your host, the Healthy Accountant himself, Jay Moore. Until next time, make it a great day.